Hello, my name is Linnea from Linnea Loves Music. I am a piano and vocal teacher, and today I'm going to be speaking to you about the top 10 frequently asked questions I get about singing. So question number 1 is, how do I sing on tune? And there are a couple different things that you need to be aware of when you're trying to sing on tune. One is trying to develop your ear so that you can recognize if you are on tune or not. And the other thing that you need to work on is how to be able to control to have a consistent sound. So if you are sharp, which means you are singing slightly higher than you're supposed to, then what you need to do is adjust your posture and position. So if you're sharp, what you want to do is focus more of your weight on your heels. If you are flat, you want to focus more of your weight on the balls of your feet. Now that might seem like a bit of a weird concept, but when you can adjust your posture, you're going to be able to adjust how your breathing and airflow is going. And we will be going through this point a little bit later in another video coming up, talking about breathing and being able to sing on tune. But that is the quickest short answer I can give you. So question number 2 is, how do I sing without a vocal break? Now, a vocal break will happen as you're transitioning between different notes, going from lower to higher. And as you get higher, sometimes there can be an inconsistency that happens in the sound that creates almost a little bit of a squeak, where the two sounds will not connect. And what you need to focus on if you're having issues with vocal break is being able to help to work on your mix. So working on creating a consistent sound between the lower notes and the higher notes, and mixing something in the middle that will be able to create a consistent. So question number 3 is, how do I create a consistent sound? So how you create a consistent sound comes down to developing the different voices that you have. So you have a chest voice, which is nice and deep and resonant in your chest. You have your head voice that is resonating in your nasal passage and is a bit more nasally and whiny. And you have a mix that is somewhere between those two. So you need to work on making that transition from where it is low, going up to where it is high, and transitioning all the way through so that it is a smooth tone and texture. And I will, of course, be recording videos that will talk more specifically about different exercises to work on that. So question number 4 is, how do I sing high without tension? And that is a hard thing to do, because as we go higher, everything in our body is screaming, I can't do it, but you can. And one of the exercises that is really, really good for this is a lip buzz. So when you're thinking about a lip buzz, you want to think about as though you're a little kid again and you are blowing bubbles in a swimming pool. So like, and then you want to take that buzz and you want to create a bit of a hum to it. So like a or if we go up 5 notes and down 5 notes, like Now combine those two things. And as you go, you can keep going higher and higher and higher. So for instance, I'm just going to go to the piano here. So for question number 5, we do, how do I extend my range? And this one kind of comes down to being able to sing higher without tension. It comes with practice. It comes with working through those exercises. It comes through trying to make sure that you're not getting too tense as you go higher up. But it also comes down to making sure you use less air as you go up higher. And that'll help you to be able to extend your vocal range. So question number 6 is, how do I develop vibrato? Now, for those of you who do not know what vibrato is basically oscillating between 2 different pitches. You'll hear it a lot in opera where they go, ah, and you'll hear that shakiness going between the two pitches. So when you think of vibrato, you want to think of it as though you're going in between the two. So I'm just going to reach back to the piano here. You want to think of it as and just creating that little bit of going back and forth. Now, of course, you might be thinking, well, I don't want to sing opera, I don't want to have vibrato, but vibrato is used in absolutely every different style of music, not just opera. It's just in opera, it's much more recognizable because it is a very wide vibrato, but vibrato is used in rock and country and pop and every style you have vibrato, and it is a way of just kind of creating this beautiful glistening sound that creates thickness and texture to your voice. So question number 7 is, how do I develop style? And it's a very good question because oftentimes when we start singing, we don't have style. We don't know how to create something unique and interesting with our voice. And the best way to actually learn style is through imitation. I cannot tell you how many times as a teenager I would listen to music over and over and over and over and over again and trying to perfect every single vocal lick that people were doing and gymnastics that they were doing with their voice. And that's how you develop style, because as you create and imitate from different people, you start to discover what actually sounds good with your voice and what does not sound good with your voice, and what do you love, what do you not love. So the greatest place to start is through imitation. Another reason too why that is so great is because you learn different things from different people. I find all the time as I sing with different people, I learn so much because each voice has a different character to it. They sing their vowels differently. It's a fascinating intellectual discovery of like, whoa, I didn't even know my voice could do that. And so developing style is really practice and imitation. Question number 8 is, how do I fix a breathy or a pinched tone? And a breathy or pinched tone is 2 different tones that are on the opposite end of the spectrum. So if you have a pinched tone, you have too much compression. You're pushing too hard on those vocal folds. However, on the other side, if you have too breathy of a tone, you have too much breath coming through. And when you have too much breath coming through, your vocal folds or vocal cords, whatever you'd like to call them, won't really connect the way that they're supposed to connect. So you need a balance between those two. Enough compression that you are creating contact, but not so much that it's hurting your voice. So somewhere between. So for our next question, question number 9, we have, how do I fix a nasal or a dull sound? And those two are 2 different opposites of the extreme. So if you have a nasal sound, you have way too much going on in your nose and it's all resonating just right there. However, if you have a dull sound, everything's just resonating in your mouth and it kind of sounds really funny. So you want to balance between the two. You want to make sure that there's enough of that sound bouncing around in your nose and enough balancing in your mouth. So it's having a balance of their two. Our final question is, how do I increase power? So one of the main misconceptions that I have with people who are trying to increase their power, because many times I have students who come to me who have these tiny little baby voices that don't know how to go any louder, is that they think that what you need to do is you really need to focus on just pushing harder, just barrel down. But really, projection comes down to be able to work on resonance. Now, you might be wondering, what is resonance? But resonance is how the sound bounces around in the different cavities in our body. So in our body, we have different spaces where sound can bounce and create sound. So for instance, we have the nasal area, we have the mouth area, and we have the chest area, where they will all bounce around. And how that sound moves around in different areas of the body will create a thicker, richer, more projected sound. So if you focus more on working on the fine-tuned details that will create a really thick sound, it will automatically project and be very beautiful and big. Awesome, you survived. You made it to the very end. And that is the top 10 frequently asked questions that I get as a vocal teacher. Now, of course, we can only go into so much detail, so there will be lots of other videos that I will be putting out that will go through actual exercises to take these questions and answers and bring them to life for you. So I hope you stay tuned. I would love if you subscribe, and then you'll be able to see those new videos come out, and of course, hit that like button. And we will have many more piano and vocal lessons for your musical adventure coming up. Bye.